Hey, welcome in. Well, here's the headline. Texas is about to pass a new law Republicans say will stop censorship of conservatives on Facebook and Twitter. Yeah, they should really throw YouTube on there as well. But it looks like there is some pushback against the big tech oligarchs, because as we all know, the censorship goes one way. They're constantly putting their fingers on the scale to influence things, to benefit ideas that they like. And of course, that means the politics and the politicians they like. And Americans got a good taste of that in 2020. Just talk to the New York Post about it with their Hunter Biden story. Anyway, Texas is on the verge of passing a new law that would crack down on social media companies Republicans say are censoring conservative speech. I think they say it because that's what's happening, and it's obvious. But in any case, the legislature passed the bill. It heads now to the desk of Governor Greg Abbott, a Republican who has publicly backed it and is expected to sign it. And of course, it's likely that some judge will block it before it can take effect, but this is all a good sign. It's a good sign because it shows that resistance is mounting. So what would this law do? It would allow any Texas resident banned from Facebook, Twitter, or Google's YouTube for their political views to sue the companies. The state attorney general also would be able to sue on behalf of a user or a group of users. It is similar to a Florida law that was blocked by a federal judge one day before it was set to take effect. So this will be challenged, and the big tech companies have a lot of money and a lot of influence. Influence that they can wield in the form of lobbying groups like NetChoice. Now, NetChoice, that sounds nice, doesn't it? NetChoice, I want a choice. I want a choice on the internet. But it's more of the kind of like Antifa thing, right? Where it means the opposite of what it sounds like it means. Anyway, trade groups representing the technology industry have pledged to challenge it as unconstitutional. And this is a common thing these days where we see people pretending to argue for something that they're actually arguing against. What do they say? Quote, "By ignoring the First Amendment, the Texas legislature has chosen to abandon its own conservative and constitutional values in order to put the government in control of speech online," said Carl Szabo, Vice President and General Counsel of NetChoice. So by trying to protect people's rights on social media, which is basically the public square now, they're trying to control speech online. No, the big tech companies are doing that. This bill is trying to stop them. It's so brazen. It's so brazen. Just the level of bullshit. NetChoice, who are they? You know what? They were involved in that Florida case. So how do they describe themselves? NetChoice works to make the internet safe for free enterprise and free expression. Yeah, as long as the big tech oligarchs like what you're saying. Described by Politico as tech's most aggressive lobbying presence in Washington, D.C., NetChoice engages at the local, state, national, and international levels to ensure a bright digital future, and one where there's not a word out of place. And here we can see they've got a link here for NetChoice and CCIA versus Moody. Follow our lawsuit against the state of Florida here. And since they're a lobbying group, let's go through some of these. Let's see, Amazon.com. Oh, there's Google. There's PayPal. And what do they have in common? Oh, yeah, they try and shut down people who say things that they don't like. I mean, most of them do. Airbnb, they do the same thing. Pinterest, same thing. I don't know. Are these companies interested in First Amendment rights? Do you think? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think they've demonstrated a concern for that. Anyway, it says trade groups representing the technology industry have pledged to challenge it as unconstitutional. Anyway, what do they say? Such bills resonate with conservatives who believe their First Amendment rights are violated when posts are labeled or removed or when they are banned for violating the policies of social media platforms. Do you mean the incredibly vague and broad policies that can be used to justify just removing anything at any time for any reason and then not even telling people why it's being removed? Yeah, those policies. Let's see, the First Amendment protects people from censorship by the federal government, not from content moderation decisions by private companies. Well, tell that to a Christian baker. As social media companies say they don't target conservatives, only harmful speech that violates their rules. And of course, being woke companies, everything is harmful speech that they don't like. And so it all violates their rules. Section 230 be damned. Let's see. Texas House Democrats warned during a hearing last week that the new law would stop social media companies from taking down harmful content. Well, content that they find harmful, which is, of course, anything politically inconvenient to them. It's the same with leftists the world over, right? They cannot stand dissent, especially when it comes in the form of a good argument. Let's see, they offered amendments that would have allowed the removal of posts promoting Holocaust denial, terrorism, and vaccine disinformation, but were defeated. Well, I think that's good because they would have had to take down the CDC, wouldn't they, if it was vaccine disinformation. As for posts promoting Holocaust denial, terrorism, look, if somebody is making a direct call for violence, I do think that should be taken down. But just bad ideas, I'm afraid in a free society, you just got to live with them and have better arguments against them. Because otherwise you get a slippery slope where, you can't even talk about biological reality. Oh, wait a second, we're there. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. That really helps me out. If you'd just like to listen, there's the podcast, Radio Baloney. It's on pretty much every platform. If you look for it, you will find it. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.